Leeds.
We do love you, Leeds, but I'm feeling very meh tonight. How are you doing, Priestley? Welcome back to your match review from Imagine Not Being Leeds with my best pal. How are you doing, mate?
Tired.
Tired of this shit.
It's a long day in the sunshine.
It is, mate. It is. It's not the worst result. It's definitely not ruined my weekend, but it's left me sat there feeling very. I don't know what to fucking really think. To be fair, I'm a little bit all over the place.
Yeah, it wasn't great. Wasn't terrible.
No, I mean, as I left you, as we left stadium, you were sort of hoping we'd get a favour from elsewhere, which didn't happen. But I think we've got to look at ourselves, and it's a very it's a game where there's a lot of cliches going about, and it's you can't win them all. It might be a good point come end of the season. There's a lot of these narratives people are saying, but sometimes you've got to cling on to the good, aren't you, and clutch at straws. And really, 7 points out of 9 in these previous 3 games, you would have snapped anyone's arm off for those before that we kicked a ball against Sunderland, Priestley.
I think if you're going to draw any of the games, the one against West Brom's the better one to draw. You don't want to draw against Sheffield United.
Yeah, no, true. I mean,
don't cede any ground to them.
True. I mean, you got to think those 2 nights, home and away. They're probably 2 at games you look back on as a fan with great memories come end of the season. So 100% you wanted to win those games that way. Today we're probably the game that I would have expected out of the 3 to have not dropped points in. If you were to name, what game do I think we dropped points in out of those 3? I wouldn't have thought it with this one if I'm honest at home. But Tony Mowbray, I think I give him a little bit. I don't think I give him enough respect. To be fair, I mean, I really went home hard on the fact we'll hammer him. I think when Leeds click and play well, Priestley, we do hammer him, especially at home. It doesn't matter who we play, we can slap them up 4s and 5s. I think I really maybe didn't do my homework too well on him, and I know Tony Mowbray's a really good coach at this level, isn't he? And they played some good stuff today. They looked a very capable side and probably fair to be in the playoff hunt.
Yeah, I mean, it's not quite predicted us to bat Millwall 5-0, but.
Oh, that's coming. When we play Millwall, I'm going to say 6s and 7s. Right? I will look a dickhead again.
I hope they're in all the comments.
They will be, mate.
They're all the videos in the up.
They will be, mate. I've got a very hate.
No, West Brom are one of those teams that are always in and around the playoffs for good reason. Just usually a well organised unit. I thought for most of the game today they were the better team.
I have to agree. I thought at half time they were worthy of going in level at half time. I think come end of game, I don't think they edged it, enough to win it. But I'd say they maybe slightly shy, maybe just shaded it slightly. But probably best side you've seen at Ellen Road this season potentially, or one of.
Yeah, one of the best teams. Yeah.
Sunderland were good, weren't they? Watford were good early in the season as well. I thought they were good value.
I think it was Adam that said earlier that they're probably the best team we'll play for the rest of the season.
You might be right with that. I mean, we'll speak ahead of the fixtures to come, which some of them look a little bit shaky when you not in terms of league position, but in terms of mental scars from last year with QPRs and Portsmouth coming next week. It's a tough one, but yeah, want to touch on before we get stuck into the lineup, mate. Which, as you said, there were only one change. Let's just check who's in the house for the comments, please. Danny, smash and subscribe. Hey up, Danny, hope you're well. Players look a tad tired for me today. Yeah, about as tired as we look and feel probably. LFC Passion, Callum, it was nice to meet you today, Callum. Callum, come to the game. You'll see that in my match day vlog, which I'll put out tomorrow. Nice to meet Callum, wasn't it, Priestley?
Yeah.
Nice.
He did leave me on a run around train station for a little bit.
And he dropped a full pint as well in Peacock, which is never good. He did a Melier in Peacock. Just there's his pint. Oh, it's gone. He's dropped it. But there's his channel. Please go give Callum some love. I'm banging his channel in my matchday vlog bio as well, so you can see him. Danny Rumsey, there he is, my friend. Go see Danny Rumsey as well for his videos he's been banging out lately. And there's Sean from Wilco Whites. This channel we like to bang some other channels in here, give you more content. Go check out my mates if you don't mind. Stephen Horseman, players looked really leggy today, but it's still a point and unbeaten in 17. That's pretty much your way of thinking, isn't it, Priestley? It is what it is. It's still a great run.
Yeah, a point. Like I say, a point's a point. A point's always good. If you can't win the game, just don't lose it.
Yeah, I know.
At times we were lucky to still be in it. That chance they missed early doors
Oh mate, on edge area when he pulled it back and he just Melier was just rooted, wasn't
I was sat right behind that.
he? Yeah,
And I
your
thought it would
side.
in.
Yeah, just
I thought it would in all day. And then
they seem to have so much space, especially in that first half. To West Brom, I felt overrunning midfield at times in that first half. There were just acres of space. We couldn't get near them after we scored. Honestly, it's drove me nuts at times this season. Score that early goal, great. We either kick on and batter them 3s and 4s, or we sit back. And I felt like, I don't know if it's credit to them for playing well, or if we did ease off Priestley, but there were a notable change again. When we scored that goal, we really did ease off, and they shared, had the lion's share of that possession and better chances probably in the first half.
Yeah, I think the game plan when we scored earlier is to just keep the ball, not try and do anything stupid. But it's hard to keep your defensive shape when your left back's playing up front for most of the game.
Yeah, I agree. Michael, 3 losses in 35. Leeds are having a spectacular season. This draw a draw against the playoff side is fine. Yeah, it is. Of course, it is. Honestly, it's a match review. I almost didn't do today because it's such an hard one to speak about because it's just the performance weren't at it. But can you be at it every day? When I go to work 5 days a week, am I at it every day? Nah, I shouldn't say that. My boss might be watching, but we're not. We're not at it every
Judging
day.
by the amount of voice notes you send me on a daily basis, it's definitely not.
100%, mate. It's you can't be at it every day, can you? And it's a difficult one.
Also, you can't shy away from the difficult results.
No, you can't. You've got to come up here and front them up. I mean, like I say, I probably hit home that we're going to win 5-0 and
I've got to go to work on Monday morning with a manager of the West Brom fan. It was expected to get battered today.
Yeah, he'll bounce it to work on Monday morning, mate. Richard Woodthorpe, 7 points from the last 3 would have been to die for, so I'm happy with that. We still added to the total. Yeah, 100%. I mean, 17 games unbeaten. It's crazy when you think of a draw feeling like a loss these days, but I think that last season and a half, where we are, it does. You've got to win, or you feel like you're massively dropping out. But you'll think when we get to Premier League next season, I'm still going to say when. I said if early by mistake. I'm way back to dropping lads off at train station. It slipped in my vocab. If we go up, when we go up, a draw in Premier League is going to be a decent point. At the minute, this season, last season, a draw never seems enough as a Leeds fan. It's got to be a win. It's got to be a win. It's got to be a win. But you can't win every time. You can't win every game. And I hate saying these basic cliches, what everybody says, but you cannot win every fucking game, no matter what. And that's where we're at today.
It's naive to think you're going to win every game. It's naive to think we're going to go unbeaten for the rest of the season.
We are going to go unbeaten for the rest of the season, mate.
Well, then you're just stupid.
Yeah, I know I am, mate. You love me for it. Hero says, got outplayed. We're lucky to come away with a draw. The goal we gave up was inexcusable. Aronson was a ghost once again. I don't know how he keeps starting and getting more playing time than Nonto and Ramazani. Go on, Priestley. What? You don't like negative comments. What do you reckon of that?
I have no issue with negative comments. I actually agree with this. I think Aronson could do with a rest.
Yeah, well, I thought first
half. In the 10.
I thought first half, Aronson were busy off the ball, didn't do much with the ball, didn't get a chance to have the ball much, to be fair, but he were really busy, like he normally is. Second half, before he came off, he was a bit of a ghost, I won't lie. You're saying Joseph in 10. I do quite like how Pirro's dropping into that role when he gets given those minutes. I mean, you saw him again today, drop deep numerous times. Joseph actually looked really lively until he came on and he got a knock, didn't he, which sort of slowed him down a little bit, but he came on like house on fire. Maybe that's something to look at. But yeah, I mean, the Ramazani thing, I was saying to Adam after the game, it's an Adam because if we're winning by 3 or 4, yeah, which we have done loads of times this season, you will see him bring both wingers on. And Joseph, you make like a 3 change up top just to freshen it up. But when it's so tight, like it's been these last few games, you found him only bringing one winger on. Solomon going off. Dan James has been the constant. They're not subbing Dan James off, which means either Nonto or Ramazani currently, one of them has to not play any minutes, which seems crazy. That's Ramazani now not getting minutes in 2 games, Priestley, which sounds wild. But he probably can't. He probably feels like he can't take James off at minutes just because of how good he is.
Well, James has been our best player for large portions of the season.
100%. But even if he's having an off game,
I thought Ramazani was the better option ahead of Nonto today.
Did you?
I would have preferred to see Ramazani come on the left rather than Nonto.
Yeah, well, I'd normally call for Ramazani. I'm not a massive Nonto fan. I prefer Ramazani 100%. But I thought with how Nonto came on against Sheffield United, had that decent shot, looked really good. One of the best sub performances he's made recently. I said to Callum, it's crying out for Nonto as this game, so I weren't disappointed not to see Ramazani. But it still feels wild that we've got someone like Ramazani who don't get any minutes at minute. It's mental, but I don't really see what more he could do. He only made 2 subs today, but who else would you have changed? You know, if it took Rothwell off on 70 minutes and brought Gruev on, it would have been meltdown, wouldn't it? He want the right sub. So for me, he probably made the only subs he could make for me today.
This is really why we need Bamford back on the bench.
Right. No, mate. You're not allowed to say that word on my streams, mate. Banned. Callum LGFC passion. The amount of space we gave them at times was really poor. In that first half, it just felt they were running through us at will. We lost the midfield battle.
It felt like they had an extra man.
Extra body, 100%. Scooby says their goal was sweet, to be fair. Very cute dead ball. Oops, did I accidentally fall over and block you over? Oh dear. To be fair, it was whipped him from free kick, really deep. Great header, to be fair. Put it in the only place, probably Melia can't get it. Top corner, floating header. I've looked at it back, you know, I've watched it. It was really good header. No one's saving that. I've seen Melia get a bit of stick for his positioning. Come on. I mean, it just under bar, top corner. No one were expecting him to get his head on that and not to go in the goal. I don't think there's much anyone could have done outside the defenders, really. You know, the keeper could definitely not do no. The defence were a bit shaky there, to be fair, which I think I've heard today, Priest, that's the first headed goal I think we've conceded this year, which actually shocked me.
It is, yeah.
Which
first headed goal we've conceded all season.
Crazy. Richard says West Brom played well and still had the ability of blocking shots. Yeah, that's something that I noticed today. Though, I mean, when you look at stats and that, they blocked so many shots. But what I'll also say, before, you know, the amount of chances we had previously to actually have a shot, and we didn't. So not only were they throwing themselves in front of the ball, because there were loads of block shots when I looked at stats, loads on their behalf, but the amount of opportunities we had to release the ball and shoot early or pass it early, and we didn't do it. There were one for Pinner in first half. Dan James second half had a couple of times where usually you say if they're confident, if they're playing well, they take that first time, but they are confident and they are playing well. So what were different about today? Why were they taking too many touches? There were so many times previously they could have just shot. So many.
It's weird because you look at the goal Pirro scored against Sheffield United. He's taking shots from there, and then today we're trying to walk it in again.
He did against Sheffield United. He took one touch there with hardly any backlift and just smashed it from outside the aerial. Yet today he had a really good opportunity to do it.
There were one in the first half, Aronson. It was the other side of the ground, so I'm not sure how close he actually was. But he could have just smashed it towards goal.
Yeah.
But he took those extra touches again. Tanaka got a couple of chances.
Yeah, he did.
Shoot and just didn't.
It's annoying, really annoying, because there were plenty of times we could have done that, but we didn't. I've seen this a few times now, Michael. It's like, I suppose I'm not Brendan's biggest fan, even though I've got his training top sign behind me. Bloody brother-in-law, guilt trip. I had to hang it up. But I've seen this. It looks like he's a little bit of a scapegoat today. I don't think he was brilliant. I don't think anybody were brilliant. I don't think anyone were above satisfactory today, to be honest. If that, below par. What I will say is I don't think anyone was shit. I don't think there were one Leeds player that I looked and thought they're shit today. I just don't think anyone were good, really, if that makes any sense. But I wouldn't look at any player and say they were awful. But not one person really were any good either. You know what I mean? I don't think Brendan Aronson were at fault today at all, if I'm honest. Was he in the game? No. Did he give the ball away loads? Did he make the wrong decision loads? No. He didn't really have much at ball, to be fair. Do much with it. I don't think Brendan were good today at all. And there's been spells this season, Priest, where I haven't rated him. But in all honesty, his numbers, his performance this season's been above what I expected of him. So I ain't going to really throw any more shade on him than he already had this season. I put a bit on him at times, but I don't think I put any shade on him at all. And I know, like I say, Pinto at the 10, Joseph at the 9. If these things don't work out, bring Brendan on the second half, tired legs. I do understand that. It might be good to see that. Would you like to see that change, mate? Would you like to see Brendan come out and maybe come off the bench later on in the game and give him a rest?
Yeah, but if we're going to replace him, I'd replace him with Nonto.
Would you?
Yeah, I don't think Joseph in the 10 from the start is the right choice. Because I think when he comes on after 70 minutes, he gives us that energy, gives us legs in there. in middle.
Yeah, no, they did.
Defenders won't want to face him that late in game.
No, I understand that. Yeah, he'll bring energy. Won't he? Look what
And
Sawyer
I
says here.
think
Big Adam is in the building. Go on, Sawyer.
I think Nonto starting gives us something different. He can hold the ball better.
It's crazy.
I think Aronson sometimes is a bit lightweight.
No, he is, but I don't feel like that were a problem today. I really don't. I mean, they're a really physical side. They always are, West Brom. They can play a bit now as well with Tony Mowbray there. They're deep. I definitely didn't do my research on West Brom because they were a decent side today. I really went in hard that they were going to get hammered, and I were wrong. I'll have all my hands up if any West Brom fans watch this. I were wrong. I didn't do my homework. To be fair, I don't tend to do much homework on this. I just back the boys to smash whoever they play, because if we turn up and play anywhere close to a 7 out of 10, we tend to slap whoever we're playing despite their qualities. But I definitely underestimated them today, 100%, and I'll try and do a bit more homework next time. I did a Millwall, but it was West Brom. The midfield was not at it today. Yeah, they weren't. We've been all calling for Rothwell to start. This is what I mean, though. They weren't at it today, Nigel. But I still thought Rothwell and Tanaka were probably two of our better players today. I felt like they were still trying to make things happen. Rothwell was still getting the ball and driving with it. He was still knocking it about. They just weren't nowhere near the normal levels, but they weren't crap. But they were overrun at times. I would say they dropped in with another. Mowat playing out on left were a really good tap, because he kept on dropping into midfield, and it ended up being like a 3 against our 2, and it was very difficult at times. I thought it looked like Priest said earlier, it looked like there were an extra man in there at times. But I do think Swift and they've got some really good players at this level, haven't they? Swift's a very good player at this level. Mowat's a very good player at this level. And in that first half, I thought they were sort of running show a little bit.
Aside from Dan James, I thought Rothwell was the most likely player to make something happen.
Yeah, I have to agree. He just weren't at his best like he's been recently. But like we said before, you can't always do it, can you?
He's not afraid to make that pass out wide.
No, I'm happy with 7 points, to be fair. Yeah, 100%, mate. You've got to look at positives when you go to the game and you walk out not winning. It's a bit of a shock, because I expect to win every game. But how many times we walked out of Ellen Road this season, Bruce, and not won? It's been so minimal. You've got to look at the positives, and it's been such a brilliant season so far. So good. What's that? Burnley, we got beat. A couple of draws in there. Other than that, mate, we're hugging, laughing, smiling, walking our way back to the car, aren't we? It's been a pretty good 18 months, to be fair. Pretty much almost 2 good seasons, hasn't it, at Ellen Road?
Yeah, apart from how last season ended, which we touched on earlier.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, now we know that, mate, but it's a good place to be at the minute.
17 games unbeaten in middle of the season means nothing if you can't keep it going till the end of the season.
I want to touch on that. Obviously, you're quite involved on Twitter. You like to stir the pot. You like to get in the thick of the action. I don't go on it too much, or X, whatever you want to call it. That's X Priestley, 1X, not XXX. I know what you like to do in your spare time. But the meltdowns can be quite thorough from Leeds fans or any sporting fans, I suppose, when things aren't going right. It's a minor blip, I think, a minor speed bump on the road to promotion. But do you foresee this as a start of a turning point to a sliding like we did last season, the back end of last season? We really had 2 wins in 11, I think we said earlier, wasn't it? Something similar to that. Do you see this as, come on, it's 1 game, let's move on, we'll be fine? Or do you think, hold on a minute, are we slipping? Or is it too early to say? What do you think?
No, I think we'll still do it. I don't think we'll fall away this time.
Based on what? What's what do you think?
From these lessons from last season.
Yeah.
We look a lot better. We look more resolute. Like I say, today's 1 game. You can't read too much into everything when we've won 6 in a row and then drawn 1. I know we demand perfection, but
yeah, well, of course we do. But you can't get it, can you? You can't have perfection all the time, mate. You can't. And I think Callum said it earlier.
Also, touching on Twitter, the first comment I saw when I left the ground was someone saying, basically, we need to get rid of Fark. And it's boring now.
It's ludicrous. I don't know. It's only 1 guy, but it's probably just. I bet he didn't have a profile picture.
It's not just 1 guy though. There's quite a few of them.
These people don't have profile pictures, and they just still live in the mum's basement. I think on the grandma's basement.
Opinions are fine. I respect your right to have your opinion, but it doesn't mean I have to not think your opinion is stupid.
Yeah, respect my opinion of me thinking you're a twat.
Yeah.
But no, it's a crazy old world, isn't it? But I mean, our blips this season have only been back-to-back draws. That's or a single defeat. A draw at home, it's really not a big deal for me at all. It feels it when you're there. You're a bit gutted, but here's what it is. Paul says here, my mate Paul, we were very average today. A lot of over and under passes, bad first touches, falling over themselves. But to think we'd win every game was mad. We got caught up in a brilliant run. Yeah, 100%, mate. I mean, I think his passing were definitely off it today. I thought, apart from their goalkeeper who just kicked it out of play every time he touched the ball, he were really bad at his distribution. I feel like Pascal Strouk's passing were quite bad today from the back. I thought Rodon were on it like he normally is. I thought Pascal were probably our poorest player, I would say, today. His passing were really poor. But I do think that was just down to their pressing were really good. They were swarming us in spells in that game. I thought they were very good value, them, really. I'm a bit annoyed with myself. I really didn't give enough credit at all because I really like Tony Mowbray. I just really underrated some of their players because I just thought it's West Brom. I looked at the squad. I thought it's just so championship. But they are fifth on merit, six now out there. They've got a point at Ellen Road and dropped down a space, which is crazy. I don't actually think they'll make the playoffs either, even though I thought they were good value today. I really don't. I didn't realise it were as tight as it is. Coventry have got into fifth now. I expect them to cement their place in there.
The West Brom Frank Lampard's Coventry City.
Tell me about it, mate. I know, but he's doing something right there, isn't he, pal? He's doing something right. Duncan says we are still guilty of making poor decisions. Went through on goal like the Coventry game. Pirro and Joseph both at fault today. Need to be decisive. Mate, there were a lot of people, today who didn't do that. I mean, 3 or 4 chances, and you're right. You've got to be decisive. They've got to. What I don't understand is with the confidence being so high, I don't understand why they're second guessing themselves like they did today. If the chance is 8, you only need half a chance. When everything's going well, the momentum and you're flying and your confidence is high, like that it is for lads at a minute. I don't know why they were second guessing themselves today. Just let it go. Their keeper looked shaky as well. We just didn't test him. That was biggest bugbear for me today. We just didn't test him enough at all. I mean, when you look at stats,
we've got a keeper who's shanking 50% of his kicks out of play.
Yeah, I know.
Just get at him.
We were pressing keeper really well, and there were a couple of times where I think Dan James got a toe on it as well from chasing him down, and he just looked really shaky. His distribution was really poor, and I just don't think we put enough pressure on him. But possession stats, mate, 53% to Leeds, 46.9 to them. Almost 50-50 in terms of possession. Shots were 15 for us, 7 for them. But they had 3 on target. We only had 2 on target. Touches inside opposition box, we had 22. They had 13. Goalkeeper saves. Mesmed 2 there. Keeper made 1 save. Criminal to not test him more than that. You know what I mean? And we hit bar ones. We had plenty of corners.
How many block shots?
Block shots. 7. We had 7 shots blocked. They had 1. They blocked.
Yeah,
we blocked
that's all you need to know about the
defenders. Of course it does.
Throwing themselves in front of everything.
Passes, 468. They did 416. Accurate passes, 396 to us, 331 to them. So fairly even with passes. Long balls, 71 by them, 36 for us. So they were playing that long ball, diagonal ball quite a lot. But honestly, a lot of stats very even. It's probably the most even I've seen stats this season. Very, very even. It's fair play to them, to be fair. But it's that shots on target that really hurts me. To only have 2 shots on target at home is really poor by us. Really poor. Hence why we only got the 1 goal. Joseph should have replaced Aronson at half time. Subs too late. Nige, we know the script, don't we? I mean, if I'm honest, Nige, in my opinion, I didn't want any subs at half time. And we knew we wouldn't anyway, Nige. I'm sure you're the same. I didn't want any at half time. I thought there were still good enough players out there to go make something happen. But to make only 2 subs, he's going to get criticism. But based on the subs, I ain't going to hammer him too much previously. He normally gets his subs right, doesn't he, pal? His subs have been working wonders this season. So
yeah, I prefer to see his subs earlier most of the time.
Yeah,
I think wait until the 70th minute is sort of becoming a running joke now.
No, 100%. Do you think Leeds are good enough to stay up? Richo says to stay up. It's hard to look into a crystal ball, pal, when there's so much going on. I think we're good enough to stay up? Yeah, 100%. I do.
Well, I mean, on that, after we beat Sheffield United, they were talking about on the BBC Sport website the day after.
Yeah,
and they did a poll of how will Leeds do if they get promoted. Top half, mid-table, relegation scrape, or straight back down. And I think 30% thought we'd go straight back down.
You know what I said? It's hard for anybody to sort of look at anyone coming up though and say, yeah, they'll stay up. It's going to be a struggle either way. But yeah, I think we're good enough to stay up, pal. I think we've got the right people in the right places.
I think we'll have a couple of dicey moments, but we'll easily stay up if we get promoted. I'm not willing to tempt fate at this stage of the season.
No, I mean, it's hard because the game we've just had, but it's doing my head in. The people like you previously won't just say it. I mean, I said today we'd win 5-0, and I'm here with egg on my face having to front it up. Come on, mate, you can't tell me you actually think we're going to finish fucking third or something and get beat in playoffs. How likely is it happening? We're at 98% probability by everyone that we're going to go up. How can you still have negativity?
Yeah, I've seen this film before.
I couldn't give a shit. Turn it off and make your own ending up, mate. 10 minutes before ending, like, just come on, give me something. Fuck off. Oh, God.
You have your coping mechanisms, I have mine.
Callum says, didn't press their keeper enough around the back. The passing was off. We are used to seeing it very slowly. Yeah, the couple of times we did press him, he looked really shaky. So it's something we should have done more, mate. But I suppose Dan James has got a big engine, but he can't do it for everyone, can he? Lee Sawyer, good point. I've said this a lot this season, mate, but I don't really want to go down the kicking Aronson route because I just think everyone went off it today. But Ramazani, number 10, he's played there at Almira. He's done well there. So give Aronson a rest and use Ramazani. His pace and his quality. Yeah. Ramazani, for me, would be suited really well like that. Or you play him at left and you play Solomon at 10. But like I say, I don't like saying it about Aronson because I think he could play against Portsmouth and be a difference maker. I just think when you look at that team, it probably picks itself now, Priestland, if everyone's fit. You know your wingers, you know your starting striker, you know your two midfielders. Now Ampadu's out, you know your back five. Aronson's the one who all season who's always had those, iffy moments. But Farker ultimately don't like playing a winger in 10. We've seen it all season, mate. He don't do it. No complaint, 10. We've seen it for Italy under 21s. Ramazani and Solomon have both got the quality. Dan James is probably the only one you would say is an out-and-out winger and could not play in the 10. But there's that many players that I think could play in the 10. But ultimately, Farker don't believe it. Whether he sees something in training that says no one can play there, we haven't seen it. And it might just be the off-the-work stuff. But what I will say is Ramazani can run around. Solomon can run around. Nonto can run around. Can they get back up and down and do what Aronson does off the ball? Probably not. But they'll be more effective with the ball, Priestley. So does that counterbalance it if you get someone who can take shots from outside area, which Aronson can't do? Do you know what I mean?
I think Ramazani in the 10 would make sense. Because, like you say, he's got the capabilities to get back and defend. I don't think Nonto's as defensive a winger as James or Ramazani is. Yeah. I know the job's not really defending, but if they can get back and help out, it's a massive thing these days, isn't it? Yeah, everybody's got to do 2 or 3 jobs on the pitch. It's not just a case of stick to your own position anymore, as Firpo's been showing us.
What, I know number 9?
Yeah.
I know number 9.
To be fair, he plays up front for his country and he scores Panenka penalties, so...
It's class, isn't it? It's class. Michael makes a good point here, doesn't he, mate? When a draw versus a top 5 or 6 side feels like a loss, you know you're having a good season. It's a great point.
I don't think it feels like a loss, though. I think it just feels like a bad day at the office.
Maybe not, yeah, but maybe not to you, mate, but it does to me. I think to most it feels like a loss at minute. A draw at minute feels like a loss. It does. And it shouldn't, but it does because of where we are in table. When we're in Premier League next season, mate, and we whatever, you might look at a point and go, a point's closer to safety, a point close to, if or whatever. But a point in Premier League, when you're struggling, usually it's a good point. It's a good point. In Championship, when you're at the top end, if you don't win, it feels like a loss. It does. But you can't win all of them. And what do you say earlier? If you can't win, make sure you don't fucking lose. Simple as it.
Imagine how you're going to feel next week when Portsmouth shit out a 1-0 against us.
Shut up, you dickhead. Shut up. If you're going to drop points, better lose them to a top 5 club at the bottom half. We have easier fixtures till the end of the season now. Yeah, Richard, we've got easier fixtures, and that's how I look at it. I aren't too worried about the fixtures coming up. I think Portsmouth's a tricky one, but these scars that Leeds fans have from these lower sides, we've seen this film before, as Priestley says. Seen this film before. Fucking hell, turn it over there and put a TV series on your top. What I will say is, let's look at our fixtures coming up, pal. Let's have a quick look. That list up here, because this is there's some poor ones when you look at last season, even this season. So Portsmouth away, another dinner time kick-off next Sunday. Got to wait fucking 8 days for that. Awful Sky change of times again, and just a shit house. All fans going down there. So you got that. That's a tricky game. You got Millwall at home. That's a 7-0 win at Leeds. Honestly, I'm so nervous for that. I can't even tell you. Midweek under lights. Oh my God, I'm so stressed about that already. I'm going to sleep tonight now. And then QPR away. Like QPR away is just like you keep going on about that season. We didn't go up on the Bielsa with that Wigan game, that QPR game last season, but we're very Wigan-y with that pivotal moment where you just think, yeah, it's done. We've done it again. It was awful.
This season that's going to be Oxford on Good Friday. I'm telling you,
it's going to be what Oxford
away on Good Friday.
Nah, there'll be none of them.
Like I said earlier, the average position of our opponents for rest of the season is 16, and that's what terrifies me.
Yeah. Have we now played all the top six twice? We haven't, we, pal? Played them all, haven't
we? Yeah.
Yeah, we played them
all. The highest position we've still got to play is Bristol City in 8th, but that's not till last home game of the season.
Is that where they are? Are they 8th?
Yeah.
Oof, it is a poor league.
They were before today. I've not looked at an updated table.
It is a poor league. Jesus wept. Pido should have squared it to James. Yeah, it should. Yeah, it should, mate. And Bogle was excellent today. I don't know about excellent, mate. He was one of his better players, but he is all the time. But I don't think excellent. It was all right, mate. He did one of his better ones for sure. I mean, Firpo got man at match, I think. I think that's just because he got the goal. I do think they're right back. What's their right back called? Their full back who scored?
Furlong.
I think he was their best player with them going away with a draw away from home. Yeah, I think he will probably man at match for me. When Firpo scored, I thought we might run over it again. It just didn't happen. Leeds came out flying. Yeah, me too. I mean, that was biggest annoyance for me. We always say score early, score first, and we'll blitz them. And that was the annoying thing. It felt very much like it was a 0-0 all game, and we just couldn't get them through. The fact that we scored within like 10 minutes, and we just sat back. It felt very much of Leeds of old, Leeds of earlier in the season. Not Leeds of recency, and not Leeds of this last 17 match unbeaten run where we score early and we absolutely pummel them. You know, it felt very reminiscent of those annoying games where we allow them to play again. Which, why are we doing that? You know, why are we sitting back? Let's be fair, Priest, they're a good side, but we did let them back into the game. We did take us foot off at gas yet again.
Yeah, like I say, it's a bit of a running theme where we score early and sit back, let them have some of the ball, let them come at us. Tire themselves out and then hit them on break.
It felt like that, didn't it, Priest? I was saying to Callum.
We do it a lot at the start of the second half.
Yeah.
If you notice at this, after half time, first 10-15 minutes, we let them have the ball. No matter what team we're playing, we let them have the ball, come at us, and then just let them eventually tire themselves out. And then we bring on fresh wingers and fresh legs. And that's why we scored so many goals late on.
Yeah.
I think that the tactical side of that from Park is pretty much spot on most of the time.
Reserve energy in pockets of the game, and then you've got energy for later. Yeah, no, it's a fair point. I mean, I was saying to Callum during that game, though, it felt, after we scored, it felt like we were the away side. It was really bizarre. It felt like they had all ball and we were waiting to counter. It felt like, honestly, for a good 40, 50 minutes of that game, it felt like we were away from home. And we were just trying to catch on counter all the time. It was a bizarre thing when we're at home and we're as good as we are to let them have so much ball. But I've said it before, sometimes you've just got to accept this two teams playing game. It's not just all about Leeds United, is it? I get so hung up on Leeds. All I think about is Leeds. And there is another side. There is another 11 players on that pitch. We're all decent players in there, all right. And that sometimes my Leeds arrogance, I've been told by rival fans can be a bit too much at times, but I'm so confident because I know what they can do, and we've seen it time and time again. And it's a shame when you back them to Hilton and they're just off it, but maybe that's just on me, mate. Maybe that's on me saying they're going to pump a side in 5th, 4s and 5s. Maybe that's just me.
That's your problem. You don't know when to shut up.
I don't, mate. And that's why I've got a YouTube channel now, just so I can keep talking shit. And for some reason, people like it. But yeah, Sawyer says here, I'm tired of people blaming Pirro. Lee's Page, you just go at Pirro when he's top scorer. He's not a workhorse, but if he gets the chance, he will score. Today, we give him the ball with his back to goal. Yeah, I mean, he had that one chance.
Fans definitely have sort of like golden players that you can't criticise.
Yeah,
Rodon's one of them. Can't criticise Rodon. Strout's another one.
Yeah.
Tanaka. Even when they do something wrong, like they've misplaced passes sometimes. Yeah, but Tanaka's awesome. Yeah, but that was shit pass. You're allowed to criticise someone.
No, you are.
Pirro's missed an easy chance. Yeah, but it's top scorer.
Yeah. No, exactly. But like he says here, you know, Pirro, if he gets a chance, he puts it away. He had a chance today. It was half a chance. He could have hit it. I don't think it would have definitely gone in, but he should have hit it when he had that chance in the first half. But yeah, he's back what a goal a lot of time. He was dropping in deep and trying to find little pockets of space. But it was a difficult game for Pirro. I mean, look how many chances we had in their opposition box, but look how many they blocked. Look how many we had on target. There weren't many. If he misses a couple of sitters, then you can blame Pirro, can't you, pal? Because that's his game. He's putting ball at back at net. You can't blame him for the way things went today. I mean, I haven't seen anyone blaming him today. It'd be bizarre if they did for me. He didn't do no wrong. He just didn't really get into the game. CB's put Farker thinks we may have got overconfident. Yeah, I've seen that he said that too. I mean, let's be fair. I've done it as a fan. Obviously, I don't look at all data. It's not my job. I don't look into as much as he done. He'll have done all his work, work and analysis.
I saw the word arrogant being thrown around earlier.
Maybe. I mean, I don't think they look like they were arrogant, but maybe they're touch of complacency. Arrogant on my behalf. I'm arrogant because I didn't do any homework on West Brom, and I'm like, "We'll smash him." That was my arrogance. I think in professional sport it goes a bit further than that. I just think it's complacency more than all. Leeds, maybe at minute when you're on a 17-game unbeaten run, Priestley, you probably do rock up to work most days thinking we'll do them, and with the confidence of the late goals they've scored lately. And the way they've scored, you know, set pieces and stuff like this and substitutes coming on, you probably never think you're going to get beaten. And I know we didn't get beaten today, but, you know, it was close. They probably had best at chances, to be fair. They probably had best at chances.
Going into the Portsmouth game, I was a bit worried because they'd won, I think, 3 or 4 in a row. But I think they got beat at Luton today, so
I did that.
That'll take the confidence a little bit.
Hey up, fella, not the greatest day at the office, but West Brom are a decent side. You cannot win every game. Yes, Sam, mate. I agree, buddy. I agree. Priestley, I'm not saying you've got to go, mate, but if you want to go at any point, just let me know because you know I can waffle on for days. But Nige says here, you're right, Priestley. I've seen the playoffs movies 6 times over the years. Never had a happy ending. Don't tell him he's right. He's already got a big head.
I'm not always right, but I'm never wrong.
Michael says Matt Aronson isn't a 10. He is a winger. I think he played left from in Prem. He is a winger. Farker has said he has worked miracles for him and the team this year, filling in that 10 role. Farker said that the transfer deadline that Brendan Aronson likely starts. Yeah, they missed an opportunity to do out in January, didn't they? We've all said we needed someone, but for me, he's a vital cog in what we do. And he isn't going to, Brendan Aronson playing at 10 isn't going to be detrimental to us going up, he isn't. And I'm pretty sure we'll be speaking about Brendan Aronson in a positive light after the Portsmouth game because they're a bit of a rut now, a couple of average games. But like I say, he hasn't stunk the joint out. But I don't like singling anyone out of this because none of them were good. QPR didn't seem that sharp tonight. No, well, they're not, mate. They're not a really good side, let's be honest. But it's just those scars for us from last season. People will start worrying.
The QPR game, I know you shouldn't base opinions off stats. That first half, they battered Sheffield United.
Did they actually? Yeah.
Yeah. The stats for that first half were all QPR.
All right, great. Danny says we haven't been QPR in either 7 games or 7 years at that ground. It is a dodgy ground to go, and it's London anyway.
Kemaru hat-trick, I think it was last time we won down there.
Kemaru hat-trick. That's going back a bit. And is that when he had an airline? Going back a bit, isn't it? Nick LUFC 1919. Keep calm, folks. Leeds are going up MOT. Yeah, it is, mate. That's where I'm at. Like I say, you've got obviously you come on here and you try and review a game, and when you review that game, it's not a positive chat really because it was poor. But you've got to generalise it and try and end on a high. And yeah, ultimately, do I think we're going to go up? Yeah. I still think we get over 100 points. That points record looks a little bit more bleak. And I said we'd get 10 wins, 2 draws. So now we need to win 10 and only get 1 draw to get those 107 points, which I thought we'd get. Maybe looks a little bit unlikely now, but I still think.
Why a draw? Why not win all 11?
Obviously, I hope so. But I didn't foresee a draw today, did I? But I'm just allowing a couple of blips. But I didn't expect a blip today. I expected a blip a few more weeks down the line if we were going to have one. But if a blip's a draw, Priestley, it's not a bad blip, is it? I aren't going to lie. These things happen. Richard Woodthorpe, I think we thought because it happened with Sunderland, Sheffield United, we would win before the end of the game. But let's face it, if you've got to give West Brom their flowers, they are playing well now. Yeah, you've got to make 100%. I mean, I was sat in there with Callum and I was saying, You know, to have these momentous wins, these great wins at end of game means you've got to have an average game. You've got the other side's got to be in it till 90th minute for you to have that euphoric moment. You know, you win a game 3-0 or you win a game 2-1 at 95th minute. The feeling you have's totally opposite. Coming out still 3 points, but if you're 2-0 up at half time and you're cruising through, seen it at Ellen Road this season numerous times, steady. Well, yeah, not much to say. We've won 3-0. We should be bouncing, but when you win like we did against Sheffield United, when you win like we did against Sunderland, it's the same amount of points, but the feeling, even though you probably played poorer than you have on a 3-0 win, Priestley, the feelings that euphoric moment is unreal. And I do believe Leeds fans, you know, will have thought there was still an opportunity to get those goals. Like I said to Callum, it's been shit this, mate, but we're probably going to get one. We're going to get one. And unfortunately today it didn't quite work out. But you can't do it every game, but 7 points out of 9, going over the same old story. You can't moan at that. You cannot moan at that. We just didn't have that killer moment in us today. Lee Sawyer.
Also, on a separate note, that ref was gashed today.
You think?
Yeah.
He left his cards at home, that's for sure. Left his cards at home.
Just how many times did they get away with niggly little fouls? That number 4 of theirs must have committed 4 fouls in about 6 minutes and didn't get booked.
No. What's this, Lee? Me and you, Matt, up top and Adam as number 1 in the Prem. Does that make sense? I don't know what it means.
Yeah.
Me and you, Matt.
So you and him up top and me as goalkeeper in Premier League.
Yeah, to be fair, he's a good player. He Sawyer played with him at 5-a-side. I forgot about that, but
Sawyer, I'm retired.
Retired, mate. You've still got it, you mate. You've still got it. Michael,
his shoulders are made of Weetabix.
Yeah, your shoulders aren't made of Weetabix. If they were, mate, you'd be eating them right now. Sorry, Paul. Oh, I love you, mate. I love you. Michael didn't mean you. I'm saying Leeds groups in general today. Piddo was slagged off again. Yeah, I haven't seen that, Sawyer, but it's actually wild. If Piddo were getting in his stick today, it's wild that. I don't see what more he could have done. He could have had that shot in for staff, but he didn't play bad. He just didn't have much. Piddo, that bad, Priestley, really? Piddo getting slagged off for that performance?
I don't think he was any worse than anybody else.
That's what I mean. I just think everyone were off it.
I think Sawyer said, he got the ball a lot with his back to goal today.
Exactly. What is
he was having to drop deep to receive the ball, and you really want in and around the penalty spot.
He won. There was that one time at first half when he could have shot, but it was still on edge of area. It still weren't a dead set chance. It was just have a shot, mate, because we saw when at Sheffield United. But I'm going to crucify him for not having a shot when he had an opportunity. It's not end of fucking world, man. He didn't play that bad. I can't believe some people, honestly. QPR should have won. They hammered Sheffield United in the last 15 minutes as well. Yeah, well, this is what we've seen all season, though. In Italy with Sheffield United, they play poor, but they get the job done, and they're still there or thereabouts. You know, 3 points behind us now. Might as well be 4 with that goal difference, Priestley, which is just immense. But they're still knocking on the door, aren't they? They're still knocking on that door.
I just can't wait for the game on Easter Monday. It's going to be massive.
Yeah, no, it is. It is, mate, 100%.
Burnley versus Sheffield United.
Is that the third to last game? That second?
Yeah, it's 44th game of the season. Yeah.
You feel like there's going to be something riding on it 100%. You know, I don't think No's going to be tied up in the next 8 games. Not for them anyway. We'll be up in 8 games time. I'm telling you now, we'll be up. That second spot won't be dealt with though. Everyone go check out my mate's channels again. Wilco White says Sean at Wilco White's channel. Please check out Danny Rumsey. Please check out Passion for Leeds. Go share some love to my pals' channels, please. Michael says his lunchtime starts as well. I miss the 3 p.m. starts. Don't we all, Priestley? Don't we all? I mean,
yeah. Well, someone said of his last 6 away games of the season, 4 of them kick off at dinner time.
Nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. I mean, I am a big drinker, as you guys know, but trying to force down a couple of pints in Peacock at 11 o'clock in the morning is quite difficult, to be fair. I think Priestley did it quite well. Callum obviously didn't because he threw a pint on floor, bless him, but he's only young and he's got years up to learn, hasn't he?
It's a normal breakfast for me, that.
Yeah, Michael says
that's a joke for anybody in the comments that thinks I've got a drinking problem. It's a joke.
You got brought up at mainline, you pal. You got brought up at mainline.
My only drinking problem is 2 hands, 1 mouth.
Oh, it sounds like 1 man, 1 cup, that. Danny Talk Sport. Yeah, I wanted to bring this up. Obviously, last night we should have had late night Leeds on here. Me, Sean, and Adam. I went to Caravan fortnight and Wi-Fi, as expected, was worse than expected. So for the little clips and little bits of stuff we put in the show in between us chats, it were glitchy as hell. So yeah, we didn't bother. Apparently my image wasn't great either, which I weren't bothered about because I don't think it's great even now, is it? It's my image.
It never is.
Exactly, mate. But we decided to pull the plug on last night's show, so we will be doing that tomorrow.
Your image was worse on that last night than it is with Millwall fans.
100%. But Danny says, please join Matty, Sean and Wilco Whites and Adam for tomorrow evening for a late night Leeds. They were supposed to do it yesterday, but they made an excuse. They didn't have Wi-Fi, only joking. Yeah, Caravan Wi-Fi. Every woman, every man, join the caravan of love. Nige, 2 games. I see the Blunts getting a maximum of 2 points. Wednesday and Burnley away. Are they both away games? Back to back?
Yeah.
Ooh.
No, not back to back.
Right, just means that they're getting right.
I think they play Wednesday, first game after internationals.
That's always a massive game, that, isn't it? That's what I mean. Wednesday still in shout with playoffs as well. Still in with a shout.
To be fair, there's about 10 teams that could make it playoffs at the minute. I think it's like 7 points separate 10 teams.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, that, like you say, that's at Burnley, wasn't it? Burnley, Sheffield United. Is that the game you're on about on Easter?
Yeah, Easter Monday.
That's massive. That.
And I mean, the same day we play Stoke at home.
Yeah. Thing is with that, mate, I don't see Sheffield United winning that game for starters because, Burnley don't concede, do they? They're absolute freaks of nature. It's like they've got 4 goalkeepers on there in between their sticks. It's a mad one, to be fair. But yeah, I ain't going to drag this out too long, to be fair. I just think when you look at the points total we've acquired so far, it's bang on. I think when you look at the cluster of games, it's absolutely ridiculous the run we're on. It's a small blip today. And thank you so much to the West Brom fans because not one of them's come back to me on TikTok or here after I absolutely said they were shy and we're beating 5-0. So if you're listening, please just leave it at this. Do not come and speak to me. Otherwise, we're going to have a Millwall debacle and I just can't handle the heat. I have to get out of the kitchen, but my fridge is in the kitchen and I like going to the fridge. So please just keep it as it is. It's been really nice that I got to say you were shy and no one's pulled me on it. Maybe my reach isn't as big as it is for the Millwall fans. Yeah, that honestly, that Millwall game is absolutely freaking me out. I'm really nervous for it. Go for a fag, don't come back or elsewhere. Yeah. Danny, nice having Priest on instead of him on Twitter. Lol. It's nice having him on here.
You see me on there then?
He must have done, pal. He must have done. You normally ruffle some feathers on there. I don't think you ruffled any feathers on it as of yet. There's still time.
It's difficult when we're winning because everybody's so happy. It's hard to annoy people.
Yeah, I can imagine. Danny, he loves a Millwall meltdown. Can't wait for Matty's Millwall meltdown in a week or so. It's going to be hilarious. Well, it's an hard admit for you because you want to see me meltdown, but you want to see Leeds win. So, yeah,
I can't wait to see your previews for that. It's going to be brilliant.
They're going to come for me. I guarantee it now. There'll be Millwall fans on my preview ready. They'll have already. I probably got a few subs from Millwall fans just so they're ready for whenever I post about them. But yeah, 100%. I won't do any digging on them, and I will just go out there and say, even now, 5-0 Leeds. I'm just going to be an absolute knobhead. I know. I just hate them. I can't even say 2-0 Leeds because I hate them that much. I'm probably going to go out there and just say it. And if I look at twat, I look at twat. I usually do anyway. But I can't even give them any credit at all to it being a tight game. But yeah, it fills me with a lot of dread, does that game. Yeah, the Millwall game is scaring me as well. You know they will play dirty. They'll play dirty, mate, and it's just they've had us number twice this season.
Play dirty? Did you see the red card their keeper got earlier?
He showed us it in your way card.
He should be in prison.
Oh, I know. He took his head clean off his shoulders, didn't he?
And the worst thing is, it had to go to VAR. Michael Lover didn't send him straight off.
It's part of his madness. He literally Cobra Kai'd his head off, mate.
He was 6 yards away, and he's watched him kick Mateta in the face.
Yeah, and he still wasn't sure. I'm not sure. I need some help. But yeah, I think we're going to leave it at that, guys. I think 50 minutes is my shortest ever stream. I don't think there's any need to go on, to be fair. Otherwise, I'm just chatting for the sake of it, which I'm good at doing, I know. But Let's get through the last few chats before we go, but we'll probably wrap it up now. Great channel, Matty. Keep it up, and when we go up, your channel will be in the Prem too. I know I'll be a Prem channel next season when we're up, which is exciting. I'm hoping to do a lot more opposition previews in Premier League. I get a lot of. I reach out to most fans. Didn't hear back from a West Brom fan. Probably just thought, nah, I'm not doing that. I do feel like because we look likely to go up and win league, I do think a lot of the people I reach out to just start that ask for doing a preview, and maybe it's arrogance again, but a lot of people aren't too bothered because they're expecting to have a tough game in my eyes. I think when we go to the Premier, it might be a bit different. There might be a lot of content creators or fans, Priestley, who might want to have a chat about Leeds and stuff if we've been new boys back up there and it being Leeds United. But I would like to do an opposition preview. I've done it a couple of times, Sheffield Wednesday, I've done Sunderland, but I'd like every preview to be with an opposition fan, to be honest. It's just difficult getting replies sometimes.
I think if we are in the Premier League next season, there'll be a lot of teams will be looking to knock us down a peg or two as well.
I agree. Yeah, it'll be good. Let's be fair though, a lot of them love to hate us, but everyone will agree.
Most of them still sing about us.
And they do, mate. But a lot of these people who don't like us would agree that it's a better league with us, isn't it, Priestley?
Yeah, all these teams fans that hate us would rather us be in the league.
Yeah, 100%.
Bonkers.
Matty, were you at today's home game? Yes, I was, pal. There were me and Callum from LAFC Passion. We sat together in top of East Stand. You had Priestley in Cop. You had Adam from Late Night Leeds in West Stand. And you had Sean from Late Night Leeds and Wilco Whites in South Stand. So me and my mates covered all angles today. We all had a different view, but we were all there. It was brilliant. It was brilliant to be there, but obviously not a great result. Nice. Says, cheers, guys. Danny, great stream. Bring on Portsmouth. Yes. Always great, fellas. We'll be on tomorrow. See you all then. Cheers, Michael. Yeah, 10 o'clock, Late Night Leeds. Back on here. CB says, think this channel should be called renamed Chatty Matty. Yeah. 100%, mate.
100%.
This is the least I've chatted, to be fair. This is the shortest stream I've done in a long time. 7 points. I'm happy. Big up, Big up you too, Tony. You've got to leave a positive spin on it, mate. You've got to. When you're playing three sides in the top six, and you're one of us, only other 5 teams, we played 3 of them back to back, unbeaten, 7 points, 2 great comebacks, 2 great thrilling wins, and then that today. You can't expect perfection. It is what it is. Well, that game was disappointing, but at least we didn't get beat. Exactly, Wayne. Exactly, mate. Tezza with the hearts and the thumbs up as always. Thank you, mate. Please put the links in the chat. If you please check the links in the chat if you haven't yet. Danny Talksport, LAFC Passion, Wilco Whites. Please check them out. And please stick a like on this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you're not already. What are you playing at? I've got Priestley on screen now twice this week. Oh my word, he's getting confident now. Look at him. He'll start. Look, he's sitting out. Buttons coming undone. He'll have his chest hair out soon. He's loving it. He's absolutely loving life, aren't you, Priestley? You're loving this.
I'm only on here because I last want to know when we're going to start making money from it.
He's going to be a YouTube sensation at this rate, aren't you, Priestley? YouTube sensation.
Yeah.
Chatty man.
He's actually in the face on something else other than Crime Watch for a change.
Yeah, man. Too would I. What's this? Matty, you will have to be paying Priestley soon. I will be. I owe him enough money as it is, let alone his life. My life as well. But yeah, top guy. I love him a bit. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm happy to have him on here. My best pal. Quality. But thank you everyone for being in chat. Much appreciated. Check the links out that obviously Danny's put in. Please like and subscribe to this, and please be back tomorrow. I've got a really good show tomorrow. We'll touch on Sheffield United game, touch on it. We'll speak about this game. Mark Viduka won last week's poll, so we've got a bit of, some clips and pictures on Mark Viduka. Sorry, that was last week. Lucas Radaby won the last poll, so we've got some clips and takes on Lucas Radaby. Going to chat about him for 10 minutes. We'll put another poll in chat. So get involved in that. We'll have the leaderboard on from our fantasy prediction table with the results from the Sheffield United game. We didn't obviously do a Late Night Leeds yesterday, so there were no fixtures getting included from today's game. No results. Come back, see where you are at the table. We'll get your score prediction in for next game. Please come back for the most interactive show probably in the space. I've got a new show I'm going to be dropping probably next week as well, something a bit different again. So, yeah, just keep coming back to the channel, guys. I'm doing my best, and much love for you all being here. So, thank you, Priestley, for being here, buddy. And there'll also be my match day vlog getting posted tomorrow, which you'll see this sexy man's heading again tomorrow. So, that'll be out in morning, Late Night Leeds tomorrow at 10.
I'll be back on next weekend.
Hopefully, will, pal. Keep them coming. Right, guys, thank you so much. Take care, everyone. Peace out.